Hello, I'm Wesley Thornburg, special education teacher from Yorktown Elementary School. Today I'm going to show you how you can use your classroom NWEA data to help build lesson plans and to drive classroom instruction. I'm going to show you how to pull up an NWEA Learning Continuum report. We'll walk you through the steps to find this on the NWEA website. After logging into the NWEA website, you'll notice on the left-hand side, this dark blue area, you have several options to choose from. Under View Reports, you're going to choose the first option, Map Reports. You'll find several great reports under this section. We're about halfway down to Learning Continuum. Click on Learning Continuum. My view looks slightly different than yours since I do not have a specific class, so Mrs. Monk has given me permission to use her classroom data. Once you are in the Learning Continuum page, you will need to choose which subject area you want to look at for this video. I'll be looking at math and reading. Look up Mrs. Mock. I'm going to use her data. I'm going to begin with math. I'm going to view report. Once you are in the class view, you will notice a breakdown of each content area that looks very familiar to the state standards. You have number sense, computation, algebraic thinking, geometry, measurement, and then data analysis. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up my 4th grade math standards in another tab so I can quickly compare them to my NWEA data here. So here again, I already have pulled up 4th grade standards in mathematics. As you can see, my first section here is number sense in both my NWEA and my state standards here, both number sense. As you see, the first math concept for the NWEA and state standards are both number sense. If I click on the first light green section under number sense with whole numbers, I have a RIT breakdown, RIT band. You have a 9 and 10 points right there together in each section. I will try to show you this without giving away the students' full names, but remember the right side of the screen will give you a list of students who are in each RIT band, which includes their overall RIT and the RIT goal for the year. Here to the right, we have our students. Again, here's part of the student's last name. We have an overall RIT score, a goal RIT as well. So that's very important because you can see where each student is struggling. The next thing you will need to be aware of is your grade and level NWEA norms. Again, I have this pulled up here so we can easily see. Please make sure you're using the 2015 norms and not 2011. Last year was 2011 we used. We want to make sure again we are using 2015. I'm going to come over here to my mathematics section right here. Since I am in looking at 4th grade data, looking down to grade 4, and if I look at the mean, it's 201.9. So basically anything around that 201 to 202 area is considered on grade level in the NWEA data. So I can come back over here and minimize this screen so I don't have to worry about it anymore. So I'm looking at all my students. This section, of course, is below grade level. 181 to 190 is below grade level. 191 to 200 is below grade level, and we're getting very close to on grade level with 200. And then my 201 to 210 is grade level and above. So one area you can look at are all the students that are in this 200 and below, are all of them that struggle with this specific area. So you have a good list here of students that are struggling. My learning continuum from NWEA, my state standards, now the NWEA grade level form norm scores in front of me. I notice that the norm, of course, is 201.9. I look back at my data, it shows me everything my students need to work on in each RIT band. So again, these students that are very, very close to being in on grade level, being on grade level, has a list of things that these students really need to understand and work on before they go on to the next level. So if you kind of compare this section to my grade, my state standards over here, one that sticks out to me very easily just because it has the symbols is comparing the whole numbers. So we have this section here, students need to know, and we can come right over here and see that that is in a few different places. The first place is 4.NS5, fourth grade number sense with the fifth indicator, and also here 4.NS7. And this again lets me know that I need to hit this area strong because it is a standard that needs to be touched on. Right? So you know you are hitting your state standards, you know you are teaching standard-based curriculum by looking at our NWEA data. As I look at my data, I see that several students are below the 201.9, which again are this section here and below. So we're going to go up here to our 181 to 190, that RIT band, and finally 171 to 180. This is my students that are the lowest in my class number sense. Each section is going to have this. So you may have a group that struggles in number sense, but in computation they're just fine. Again, so we can come out, come down here slightly. Computation is a whole different section. Whole number computation. There we go. As I look through again, I have another list of students, and as you can see, the first few letters of the student that struggles in this area are different than the student that struggled in the area before. Okay, and if I look back over here at my standards and put these over slightly, again, I apologize for being on this computer, it's a little bit smaller. As I go down, I'm now working with both computation. This is my NWEA data. Over here to my right is my state standards I have to follow, and it breaks it down in a pretty good way. Remember, NWEA is a nationally normed test that focuses more on the Common Core state standard, Common Core standards, and of course our state standards that are adopted by the state of Indiana are slightly different. But again, you can see where a lot of these we're multiplying with whole numbers here, and 4C2. You go straight over here. There we go. Add one digit to multiple digits numbers, no regrouping with regrouping here. So both of these sections are basically right here. 4C2, we're getting 4C3 with division, and that's through here as well. So I am seeing exactly what I need to work on with this particular student, and these students are again below the 201.9 area, and we are making sure that we're doing everything we can to encourage and instruct meaningful lessons, and that's what this data gives you, meaningful lessons for each student. A great way to use this is looking at groups, so 201.9 and below, which would be these students again. If you look at these students, you're going to be able to see a good way to group our students. So again, you have 2 students there, there's 5 students, 4 students, you know these are the students that are really struggling with this concept. So as I get ready to teach, I want to find something that I can do to raise them up and to help them get a firm foundation in this. And I could utilize, again, these students here that are at grade level and above. I have almost the same amount at grade level and above. And if I'm instructing well, I can use these students to the best of my ability to help instruct and encourage their other students. I can use them as teachers. You see here, this is good for this teacher. This NWEA student has absolutely nothing to work on 4th grade wise, so you can almost even bump them up to a 5th grade math book or math concepts if you would need to push the student, because again, you're wanting to see growth, and every time we teach, so the student right here is not going to go with 4th grade, so we're going to have to push them into a 5th grade book to see growth from last year's data. Real quick, I'm just going to show you reading, just so you know that it looks very similar. So again, I'm going to select the school. I'm going to select Mrs. Mock's class, and I want reading again. I want reading this time. I'm going to view my report, and again, minimize my math standards. I get my reading standards. There it is. Here's my reading standards here. And as you can see again, my first reading concept is literature under my state standards. First concept here is literature under learning continuum. A few more things I want to show you that's great about this. We always have those parents that ask, what can I do with my student at home to help them? Well, as I go down here and find a student, there the student is SPANG. Again, it does give me a Luxile overview for my bit, which will help me with future special education testing, tier 2 and tier 3 recommendations. But if I do have a parent that asks, hey, what do I need to do working with my student at home? If I click on that name, then it changes my view. If you notice, there are no other names in this section. So what I could do, I could print this entire page. It's very easy. And I can hand this to SPANG's mother or father or guardian, whoever is asking for this information, and we are able to give them specific areas that they need to work on. So you're making predictions, making inferences, drawing conclusions, identifying the settings, identifying main characters. This is great data to hand over to the parents, and you know for a fact this is what they need to work on. This is also great for RTI groups. Our whole purpose of RTI is to remediate, to give and provide interventions that's going to help keep these students from having to go through the special education process. So again, I can hand this to the RTI team. They're going to know exactly what uh, the curriculum or intervention they need during that RTI time because it's already broken down. It's very easy information to see where our students are struggling. Also, once a student gets to special education services, this is a great tool, especially for me. Being a special education teacher, I know exactly what areas they need to work on. So if I'm going to develop a goal that is individualized, because of course that's what an IEP is, individualized education plan. I can look straight here, see individually what the student needs to work on, and I have a great snapshot of what my goal needs to look like. I hope you've learned something today. This is all I have for you today with this learning continuum. Again, I am Wesley Thornburg from the Yorktown Elementary School, grades 3 through 5. If you would need any assistance or any other questions on this, please feel free to contact me. Obviously, you can find my email very easily through the school directory. I would be more than happy to help you. Thank you. Have a good day.